in 2013, and it is my pleasure now to invite one of our own, the work of our hands.
And before we get serious, and I saw the seriousness in your face when the DVC, the Deputy Executive Dean and the Chair were talking. Now, before we get more serious, let's just imagine it's your final day at Kenyatta University. You have submitted your last exam, and of course feeling like the next UN Secretary General. After 4 years of university, you are already actually composing a Facebook message saying, KU, it's been raining. Now here I come. Yeah? So, but then you walk back to your hostel room, and for that matter, you three to clear. But your excitement fades. The world looks very empty, probably like our M-Pesa balance. You sit at that hostel bed, of course gazing at the walls and the ceilings, and the ceiling for this matter is the bed on top, because of the double decker, and of course staring at your bags that you have already packed and asking yourself what next. Throughout the 4 years, you are an A student, of course trying to chase A's, and of course avoiding the missing marks. The one who has always read the group works, sometimes voluntarily, sometimes by default. You also joined every university club that promised exposure, experience, and maybe a certificate to enhance your CV. Yet here you are, unsure of your next move. But one thing that is certain, you are not going back to the village where you came from, because you are the kioo cha jamii back in the village, and you are the role model, a beacon of hope for the younger ones dreaming to join university. Of course, you can't return empty-handed with nothing but a graduation gown and uncertainty. You sit in that room, even after submitting your clearance document for the room, are staring at the walls, and the reality sinks. And at around 5 p.m., it hits you. Maybe there is a way forward. You have few relatives and friends who could accommodate you as you figure what next. You called a few of them, but they gave you some excuse. Some telling you, I just got married, so my house is too small, I cannot accommodate you. You try more, and others are telling you that I have gone back to the village, so I am no longer in a position to host you. Eventually you pick your bag, drag yourself to the gate, not sure where you are going, but of course knowing where not to go, back to the village. And that is when it's you hard that all this time you have been chasing your GPA. Of course you have the kioo cha jamii status back in the village, but there is just one loud question: Sasa, what next? So let me confess, that was me. Exactly 12 years ago, when I finished my final exam. It was in April, and today we are in April. We were just reflecting with Collins, who was my classmate in the CRM. So a proud community resource management graduate, suddenly wondering, did this degree really come with the job? So now we are getting serious. DVC, Executive Dean, represented by the Deputy Executive Dean, the Chairperson, Prof, respected lecturers. I have seen Dr. Bibi. Quite some time we haven't interacted. And the unstoppable community resource management student. What a privilege to be back here at the place that shaped me. But some time broke me, and most importantly, rebuilt me. My name, as introduced, is Stephen Mwangi, a proud alumni of this department. Today, I serve as the National Program Coordinator for Digital Jobs. I was happy when the DVC was talking about extra skills. I did community resource management, but today I lead the digital economy aspect of the International Labour Organization. And maybe before going on, just to maybe mention what International Labour Organization is. International Labour Organization is the UN agency for the world of work, promoting social justice as well as decent work. We say work is an equalizer. When we have work and of course income, the power in terms of use and control of resources comes. But when we don't have any income, then there is inequality in terms of control of resources, and that is the beginning of social injustice. So, of course, we set labor standards across 187 member states, but today I'm not here as the National Program Coordinator. I'm here as a comrade. Comrade? Comrade? DVC. I know that chant is familiar. Probably during the campus demo. Yeah. But today, this is not about chaos. It's a call for reflection. In the space of labor, we say for solidarity. Solidarity forever. Yes. And that is why I'm here to speak to the next generation of leaders, problem solvers, and community champions. Because community resource management, as I have learned, is not just a degree. It's a mission. It's about asking, is there a community with a problem? And for sure, there is no community without a problem. And I think DVC underscored that. So if yes, that is where our work begins. For the last 10 years, I have connected young people to digital jobs, green jobs, humanitarian work and skills, especially in marginalized community, spanning from urban setup, Nairobi, Turkana, Garissa County, West Pokot, Nyandarua, Kajiado, Nakuru, and many more. As Prof mentioned, together with 4 alumni of community resource management, we co-founded Empower and Serve Kenya in the year 2015. Myself, my friend Martin in absentia, that serves to empower the youth within the rural remote areas, and because we thought that this also could create jobs for ourselves. So now, quick show of hands. How many of you believe that once you update your LinkedIn, to open to works, jobs will rain like blessings. Who believes that once you update your LinkedIn, jobs will automatically come? By the way, in this era, and especially with the withdrawal of donor funding from the US government, I see those posts quite often. People looking for jobs. Yeah. So we are entering into a market that already has a lot of people who unfortunately lost their job because of the exit of donor funding from the US. So competition is real until we reach an equilibrium and we model our way of fundraising within the community space. So let me check maybe a few comments from you. What scares you about life after graduation? Maybe a few.
Anyone? What scares you about life after graduation? Anyone wants to share their experience?
I was there. I got scared the last day I submitted my exam. So any? Yeah, I can see some few hands, maybe two.
Nicholas Mwangi, I think you can say that what scares me so much after graduation is going back to my mom's house.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
Yes, I'm Wilson. What scares me the most is going back to the village with the degree, but without anything else apart from the degree.
Great.
Thank you, Ronald.
Maybe the last one, I can see a hand here from a lady.
Good morning. My name is Elosi Kiendi. So what scares me is the issue of connection.
The issue.
Yeah.
Great. I see I'm not alone. There are those two of you are scared going back to the village. And for sure, today I stand here. I did not go back to the village after I submitted my last exam. So maybe something that many youth, and especially who are graduating, are scared about after graduation is unemployment. Of course, there is high unemployment rate in Kenya, and really that is scary for many youth, even those that I have interacted with. Of course, family expectations. For example, sitting in my room, I was wondering what response I would give to my village elders when they ask me why I have come to the village. Maybe I could have told them that it's a long holiday and I'll go back to school. And of course, going back to the village with the exposure, with the Wi-Fi, I had someone saying, whisper, their biggest fear is going back to the village and being called Muzewa Wi-Fi, who is always online but broken. So when I finished and I went out, I applied for many jobs. And I want to anchor my speech to my personal reflection. I applied for many jobs, but one stood out. I applied for a position of chief of party. COP. Yeah, I'm saying chief of party. A fresh graduate applying for a chief of party position. So I had, of course, zero experience, but 100% confidence. And when I didn't get the job, I sat there cursing. Why are jobs so hard to find? This country is completely finished. And I'm sure most of you will really curse because of applying for the wrong job. And for that reason, maybe by the end of this session, someone should have gone to the LinkedIn and searched someone who is currently in the position of as chief of party. Then you see the experience. I just pulled out one a qualification for a chief of party, and these are the qualifications. I don't know whether it is visible. Yeah. Over 10 years of experience, with 5 years of project management. I hope. Yes. So yes, this is the kind of job I applied when I finished my undergraduate, and maybe I reflected. Maybe the only chief of party position that I qualified for is the chief of buying party snacks. And even so, I was very broke, so I couldn't manage to really buy those snacks. So when you look at my WhatsApp, for those who are in the alumni group, I hope you noted chief of party somewhere. Even today my WhatsApp name is chief of party, because I did not get the job, but I got inspired. The rejections that I got from so many jobs I applied really fueled my ambition, and this is what I learned, that before you go to this depth of looking for jobs, maybe you should explore internships, volunteering, and these are a great way to get your foot in the door. They may not come with fancy titles, but they help you build real skills. From there, probably transitioning to the roles like project assistant, which can be the next solid move. Personal reflection is that 2 weeks after I boarded a matatu to Nairobi, and I got an idea where to go, but not going home, is that I started applying for so many jobs. I was reflecting the other day, and I even thought of going back to get my CVs back, because I spent a lot of money printing those CVs. And within 2 weeks, I got a volunteer position in Nakuru. And I volunteered for 5 months, built my experience, and still applied for more volunteer jobs. The second one, I got an internship again in Nakuru USID project. Unfortunately, it ended within 3 months, and I was jobless again. So I decided to come to Nairobi. Here it's the land of opportunities. So I came and started looking for jobs, and again I got a third volunteer opportunity just here in Kahawa, Wendani, with the Center for Aging and not Center for Aging, support for addiction counseling and prevention in Africa. And I didn't stop there. I applied for the further internship position. And during the interview, I got disappointed and discouraged, because the panelist asked me one question: do you want to be a lifelong intern? And I knew I wouldn't be taken for that position just by mere ask of that question. So I did not apply for any other internship position after my fourth position. So today I'm here to talk about now 10 years down the line, what have really found out within the job market. Of course, there are new emerging fields within the job market. For example, we are talking about green jobs. We are talking about just transition, green transition, climate action, and this is a buzzword within the community work, where we are talking about environment and green jobs. For example, climate action, renewable energy, circular economy. These are new emerging fields, and unfortunately, you will not learn them within the community resource management. You will be taught project design, general project design, but of course you will be exposed to some projects, some group works that will help you dig deeper into this emerging field. There is also digital jobs, and with the COVID-19, of course, is an opportunity in disguise that exposed our ability to really utilize digital tools within our workplace. Now we have emergence of hybrid working environment, and employers are now looking for people who can work remotely, for example, because COVID-19 really taught us a lesson. I have a number of friends who are working remotely. They are working in companies, with companies in US, with companies in UK, with companies in other regions, but working remotely at the comfort of their homes. We have issues to do with data. Of course, these are some of the opportunities that you can work remotely. Then, of course, humanitarian work. When I started now real jobs, I worked with Digital Opportunity Trust. That was my first real work. Then transitioned to International Rescue Committee. In the International Rescue Committee, during induction, my supervisor told me, because I had worked in Nakuru, then Nairobi, and the position I was getting was, the duty station was in Nairobi. She told me, Stephen, if you haven't worked in any humanitarian setting, then don't call yourself a community worker. Because humanitarian work is so huge. Talk about disaster response. Talk about community resilience. Talk about education in rural remote areas, Turkana, Garissa, and some of the rural remote areas. These are opportunities for community resource manager. Talk about now we are talking about, and it's a government drive. We are talking about youth employment. We are talking about expansion of Tibet. There is a lot of opportunity within the Tibet landscape, as well as essential services, for example, community health. We are talking about social protection. So, and this, unfortunately, again, you will not be taught within CRM. It is for you to identify these particular opportunities. So, I did a quick search of remote jobs that we have, and I did a search for remote jobs within the US, and this is remote jobs for community worker, a community resource manager. I got 57 opportunities. And you can search for other markets. You can search for UK markets. And for example, the first one, they are looking for a community volunteer. What time exposure? So you have an opportunity just beyond the physical space to also look for jobs within the digital space. So we were discussing, and I was asking, what do the CRM students expect from today's event? And there was an element of what salary to expect when you graduate. And one of the questions that interviewers like asking is, how much do you expect for this position? As though they didn't have a budget, they didn't know how much to pay you. So So, of course, because you have invested 4 years, of course you need good life, you need good money. So you attempted to quote highly. And I had a case of someone quoting about 300,000 for a fresh graduate. And the people were wondering, are you applying for a CEO position? So, but today, because of technology, we have platforms that you can actually try to gauge what salary to expect when you call for an interview. For example, I have used this platform, Glassdoor. Glassdoor.com is a very nice a platform where before you view the opportunities and the salary expectations and what people are saying about that particular organization, they first ask you to post a job that you have been, so that you also post about the salary that you are getting. Of course, is anonymous, the salary you are getting, as well as what are the pros and cons for working for that organization. So you are able to know exactly what to expect for an organization. So Glassdoor.com, I have also used payscale.com. They're able to tell you, for example, for a project assistant, and some of these posts go specific to the particular organization. For example, if you check now, for example, within Glassdoor.com and search project assistant salary, you'll see a number of workers who have been there before, who are in that particular position and posted their salary range. So you are able to know these days. You don't have to ask someone, how much do I ask for this particular position? So I saw within the program there was an opportunity to mention every community has a problem. So you can actually sell a product in form of a solution and actually generate income to sustain your project. Do you know what is a social enterprise? Any person? What is a social enterprise?
First year CRMers, I expect you to talk because I teach you that unit.
I like that.
Say something, a first year. What is a social enterprise?
And this will add to your continuous assessment test. So it's 10 marks.
How you understand it? Let's say how you understand it.
I'm Nicholas Nyaga. I think I understand social enterprise. It's the way you relate with people socially, and I can't recall it.
Nyaga unaniangusha vibaya. Who can try?
No, that's 5 marks. Yes, as 3 for talking.
And if I should stand. First of all, my name is Jerry Mutai. I'm not a student of CRM, but I can try answering the question. So my thinking of social enterprise is basically a business that revolves around the impact of the community in which it's based. So I think, I don't know if it's...
Yeah, great. I think that is very nice. So really, it's a business actually whose aim is not really generating profit, but actually plowing back that profit to support the community and to start to sustain your operation. I'm happy that with Prof and Dr. Joanne, we mobilized some resources some few years ago, and we were able to run a project called FCOC, trying to nurture young social enterprise within the student fraternity, and we had a number of them. I don't know how, 8 of them, I think. Yeah, 16 because we paired 16 social enterprises within the community. I was expecting to see a city here who was one of the beneficiaries of that particular project. Happy. And of course, you can, there is also an agribusiness. If of course job will not grow on the trees, money will. You can really try organic farming, and by the way, you can transform your agribusiness into a training space for your community. You can do beekeeping. In West Pokot, there is a whole project run by a self-help group doing beekeeping and actually processing this honey, and people go there for training. It's agribusiness, but community work. You can also do urban gardening. I remember there was one solution on urban gardening, and this can be transformed into really community work. Then ecotourism, of course, transforming our farms into ecotourism spaces. I have visited a number of farms that are really doing ecotourism, and you pay for that particular service. Then, of course, there is digital. There is also the digital freelancing. Now with the growth of digital space, there are so many opportunities within the digital space. Talk about the green energy solutions. For example, solar, biogas, eco-friendly stoves, and there are a number of these particular solutions, and you can generate the income from this. So we are not just job seekers, but job creators. Then we can do freelancing, training and consulting, research assistant. We have a number of CRM graduates who ventured into consulting work, and that is really entrepreneurship. And for that reason, in 2015, staying in the same place with my colleague Martin Irungu, we mobilized 2 more CRM alumni, Maggie Komen and Elizabeth Koki, who were CRM, who are my classmates, to start Empower and Serve Kenya. Mainly, though we wanted to empower the community, but we wanted, because we were looking for jobs, we wanted to create jobs for ourselves. And today, I'm happy that some of the CRM students have really gained experience within the community, the Empower and Serve Kenya, as it also continues to also sustain us. So I'm not worried that I would, when it comes to job searching and looking for greener pastures, at least I have a fallback plan, because the Empower and Serve Kenya exists. So maybe as I finish, one thing that I did when I was in KU, I joined a number of clubs. CRM club, I think then it was very active. I hope now it has become very active. And if it has not, this is a very huge opportunity that you should nurture, because this is the experience that you should package when you finish and go out there to look for jobs. I joined, I was in CRM club, I was in student AIDS control organization, KUSACO, as the deputy organizing secretary. We were the first cohort within what we use, I don't know whether it still exists, KU Gender Action Movement. We were trained as the first cohort and joined as members. And this is the experiences that I packaged to look for jobs. Someone asked us if a house help, or house, we call them house manager, come to you and they tell you they have a skills in project management. Will you agree? If a house manager, house help come to you, they're looking for a job, and they tell you I have a skills in project management. Will you agree? Why? Would you agree?
Personally, I would agree because of the confidence that they have in themselves.
The confidence?
So if they say they can do it, then they can do it.
Okay. Why? But what is project management? But what does a house manager do? They plan, organize, put together the resources you have left to them, and implement. Is that not project management? So you have skills that can be packaged and become marketable to the employer. And that is very important. A house manager is a project manager, and when they come and sell themselves as project manager, believe them, because they are. That is what they are doing at home. So any skills that you gain, try to package that. And of course, internship, I have mentioned about my internship opportunity. Some of them did not pay me, and I was very broke, so you can imagine how I was able to sustain them myself. Volunteer opportunities, I mentioned about that. Then, and of course, networking. You said your network is? Your network, yeah? Your network is your network. Someone knows someone who is looking for someone like you. So, of course, personal branding, and I think someone will talk about that. And now, learning digital skills. Learning some digital skills. And by the way, you can do a lot while still a student with the digital skills. Even simple packages like Excel. I remember in one of the organizations I worked with, I was proposed to be the monitoring and evaluation officer because of my skills in Excel. At least I had done advanced Excel, so I was able to really develop L&E templates for that project. And later they were proposing 2 positions, and I picked the other one that could expose me to the humanitarian work than M&E. So let's agree, if you haven't really joined any university club, kindly do so. There are so many clubs that could really expose you to this opportunity. I remember with Kusako, we used to organize community service every term. We used to go to children's homes, we used to do some community service, and that can be packaged as an experience. If you haven't joined any club, any relevant club, please do so now. Then of course, I really urge you, for those who are leading the CRM camp, try also to incorporate community service within your activities, because this again can be packaged as an experience to an employer. So, as I review, remember, the day you graduate, someone will ask you, na kazi ilikuwaje huko Nairobi? Yeah. Because back in the village, they know you went to learn and get a job. So, don't say, tunajaribu tu. I say, I'm creating solutions. Watch this space, because your degree is just a torch. Only you decide where to light it. Thank you so much. God bless you. See you at the top.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen Mwangi. Summary, would you mind a few questions, maybe 2 or 3? Anyone with a question for Mr. Mwangi? Question, concern, input?
In community, we ask questions.
Yes. Anyone? Okay.
My name is Abigail Mureithi, a third-year student. I was asking that, in that right now, you said about EPSAL. Right now we're having some third-year students looking for attachments. So I was asking if MSAF can offer attachments for CRM students.
Can I respond or be asked?
Anyone else with a comment, question?
Okay, I'm Jerry Nicholas from JQuat. I'm being public health in the second year. And I'm asking, when you talked about MSAF, what if I am willing to volunteer to serve under that in the community?
The last question?
Hello, my name is Simeon Oleko, fourth year student. Mine is, I'm asking, do organizations prioritize skills over degree in terms of employment? And again, to congratulate you for the Eco Village project that you are carrying out in Kajiado. It's one of the amazing initiatives that I have seen, especially dealing with environment and also communities. Thank you very much.
I will now request Mr. Mwangi to respond to the questions.
Yeah, whether we can host attachee. Actually, we have. And I think Prof can bear the witness that CRM department has reached out and we have provided attachment to a number of CRM students. Maybe not so many because of the sitting space and of course opportunity to learn. Yeah. And of course you mentioned about volunteer. Rose Mikari, I would want you to respond to that question.
I think I'm one of the people that has benefited from Empower and Serve so much. When it talks about, I didn't get the question, but I emphasize on volunteership. When I reached to Empower and Serve Kenya, I just needed a space where I could practice all the skills that were taught by CRM lecturers, from resource mobilization, project management, all those, because one lecturer used to tell us that don't look to work for UN when you're just you've not just graduated or you've just graduated. Start by the small organizations that are upcoming. So when I got to MSAV, I got the opportunity to do everything that I could really want, and also getting mentors from Empower and Serve Kenya, being like their alumni. So while I was there just doing my volunteership, I really did my best. I think my boss can attest to that. So I did my best. I just kujituma, the aspect of kujituma. Whenever you get a chance, don't look at the value of the money that you're getting. You might be given as much as maybe 5,000, but now the skill, because the 10 years of work experience won't just come from nowhere. It starts from the volunteer opportunity. So when I just finished my volunteer work, now they saw the good work that meaning to kujituma. They saw the good work, and now they gave me an internship for 3 months. Now, after 3 months, they also saw there is need to extend. This girl, we can't let her go because, yeah. So I stayed with them, and now started now we need to incorporate some aspect of mentorship. I'm a mentor, I do mentorships. So we started now incorporating an aspect of mentorship, like ni kujituma, alafu make sure wanisahau. Just in case nitoke nje wakumbuke Rosa alifanya something. So I reached out to them, and we were during the programs meeting, I could engage with the participants. like just taking them through life skills, the soft skills, through emotional intelligence, self-awareness, addressing sexual violence, because they serve girls from the informal setups. So when I was doing also my, I came up with that project that I wanted them to remember me. Throughout the 4 years, lecturers used to tell us that whenever you go somewhere, leave something that the team will be remembering you for, because you might be doing the internship, but it is not a guarantee that you'll be working with them. So I did my internship, and then in the aspect of kujituma, now I got an opportunity to with one of their partners, W4, to do more of mentorships and coordinate different projects that they do with their partners. Now, in the aspect of kujituma, I'm here starting as a programs and partnerships coordinator. Thank you.
Yeah, we offer volunteership opportunities, and Rose is a witness. And of course, as she mentioned, during that period, she started mentorship program, and that is how our main partner absorbed for that to accelerate that particular program. Lastly, whether employers are prioritizing degree over skills. Of course, the entry point is your education, but what will stand out was how many people have degree within the same interview. There's so many people, probably everyone who will apply with a degree, but what will set you apart is your skills as well as experience. I have participated in so many interview panels, and of course, the document you get from HR now to conduct the interviews is already filtered. Those who have that qualification is already filtered. So the person you are looking for is the skills and experience. That will set you apart from the rest. Otherwise, thank you so much. If there are no other questions, asante sana.
Okay, one last time, can we have someone guide us to clap for our keynote speaker properly? Okay, we are going to use the Parapanda style. How many know it? Parapanda style. I think we tried it the last workshop, right? Okay, so I'll guide you, then we will do it in a better way.